Hello everyone. Hello everyone. How are y'all today? Hope y'all are doing well and fine. Glad to be back. Glad to have you back to the channel. Glad to spiritually see you back. I cannot physically see you, but I can spiritually see you back. And I'm glad you're back because we are going to dabble into an interesting topic. I usually don't get too in depth with a lot of this stuff. I leave that research up to you. And I'm one of those people. I allow you to think for yourself. I put a certain amount of information out there, but I'm not going to think for you. I'm not going to do the research for you. But I do want to kind of like catapult you into a certain area of knowledge. And once you move in that direction, you can do your own research and you can come up with some things. You may even come up with some things that you can teach me. And that's, like I said in all of my videos, that's what it's all about. Us helping one another, us teaching one another, us trying to uplift one another, and trying to better one another. So, in the end result is we better this world, we better our environment. And it starts with bettering yourself. And then you start with building yourself up and bettering yourself, and then you can branch out to other people. Now I know that everybody ain't gonna want to listen to you. I know everybody ain't gonna want to hear what you gotta say. Everybody's not gonna respect your knowledge or your wisdom, or they're not going to, look to you for any type of answers, and that's okay. As long as you are putting it out there, as long as you are doing your part, somebody will listen. If you put it out there, somebody will listen. If you speak in truth and you speaking from the heart, somebody's gonna listen. So don't worry about who listens and who's not listening. Don't worry about who respects your words and who doesn't respect your words. But just put it out there. And so, with that put out there, I'd like to go ahead and start with the quick nugget of wisdom lesson, whatever you want to call it. Uh, I think it's a very interesting subject that I'm bringing forth today. I'm going to talk to you today about laws and principles. Laws and principles. You must understand this reality that we live in, this matrix that we live in, this duality that we live in is governed by two things, and two things only. That's laws and principles. And you can actually manipulate the matrix from within. You can manipulate the simulation from within by learning these laws and principles. These are laws and principles that have been set in motion, and they will work for anybody. And unfortunately, it's some people that have these laws and that know this, that don't want everybody to know it. That if you enact these laws and if you enact these principles, you will be very effective and very successful. But you have to learn the principles and you have to learn the law. These are what I call what everybody calls universal laws and the seven hermetic principles. These are principles and laws that have been set in motion in the universe that work for anybody, anytime, anywhere. And you have to understand these principles and these laws. And once you understand these principles and laws, you can use them to help you. And the whole reason for helping yourself is so you can enable yourself to help each other. And so you're doing this with the motive of love and humility. You're not doing this because you want to be better than the next man. You're not doing this because you want to, be higher than the next person. You want to uplift everyone. Everyone that will listen. Everyone that has the right heart and mind. Everybody doesn't have the right soul. You see, doesn't have the right soul. Everybody has a soul. But just like Jesus said, let those who have ears to hear, let them hear. Everybody don't have ears to hear because they don't have the soul to hear. Those who have ears to hear, let them hear. So as I speak, there's only a small group of people that are going to have ears to hear what I'm saying. Then there's going to be a certain group of people that just going to click off and be like, whatever. Yeah, all right, like that. There's going to be them type of people. And so when I make these videos, I know this. I know this, and I know that there's not going to be many views on this because a lot of times the truth isn't the wide path. The narrow path has the truth. The wide path has the lies. If you want to go to a lie, go on the wide path. If you want to find the way to truth, go on the narrow path, the one that few people are going on. So, but we're talking about, and I'm not going to get into each one of these principles and these universal laws because there are 7 hermetic principles. But the universal laws, there may be hundreds, maybe thousands of them. When you learn these universal laws, when you learn these hermetic principles, hermetic means they are in harmony with one another. One is in harmonizes with the other one, which harmonizes the other one, which harmonizes the other one. And the whole reason for this video is not to, like I said, go down. I can make a video on each one of the 7 hermetic principles. I can make a video on certain universal laws, and I may do that. But the purpose for this video today is to spark your interest and to tell you that's where it's at. You're struggling right now. You're struggling for money. You're struggling for happiness. You're struggling to get out of something. You're struggling to make your way into something. You're struggling to be a better person. You're struggling you're just struggling. And you wonder, why am I struggling? It's because you have not enacted the laws and the principles that a lot of people are using behind your back. You wonder, how are they making it? How are they happy? How are they doing what they're doing? It's because they have either consciously or subconsciously learned and enacted these laws in their lives. And it's up to you to study each principle. It's up to you to study each law. You see, there are groups that have these principles. There are people that have these principles that are using them for their own personal gain. They're using them for their own personal, welfare. And they're not trying to help the world. They're trying to help themselves and their families around them. But Jesus, he tried, if you really read into what Jesus was teaching on this earth, and what Jesus was trying to do on this earth, he was speaking principles and laws. There's a verse that says we wrestle not against principalities, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers of the air. What is a principality? Somebody that has taken principles. A principality is someone who has taken principles and used them in their favor against you. That's what a principality is. Principality is what a prince is a prince that has control and has authority over something. And it's over what? A principality. He has taken control of the principality and used it in his favor. And see, a lot of evil entities, a lot of evil organizations have taken these things and they've learned these principles and they keep them to themselves and they keep them from you, and you wonder, how are they way up there and I'm way down here? Because they have learned the principles. They have learned the universal laws that cannot be broken. As much as you would like to think that you can outsmart a universal law, as much as you think that you can outsmart the hermetic principles which are in harmony with one another, you can't. You can only use them either against yourself or for yourself. So what I want to encourage you to do is learn the 7 hermetic principles. And I don't have them memorized, but I just read them earlier today, and they're very interesting. But not just learn of them, learn them. Get a relationship with them. That's what I'm on a quest to do. I've actually just started trying to do this myself. And the Akashic records, the universe, God, the all, whatever you want to refer this to, has put this down in my soul and spirit that this is where it's at. There's 7 hermetic principles, but there are probably hundreds, maybe thousands of universal laws that you can learn about. Start getting on your computer. Start reading books about the universal laws. Not every universal law is a universal law. Sometimes it might be just somebody talking. And so you got to use your discernment on what is truly a universal law and which is somebody just talking. Just like you use your discernment with me. Am I speaking some real, or am I just somebody out here just talking, just to hear himself talk? You don't know that. You have to use your discernment. But something has told me that the way to find your true meaning, your true calling, to get what you need in this life, is to learn the 7 hermetic principles. To learn to figure out and find. It's like a witch. I'm not gonna say witch hunt. It's like a treasure hunt. I put it that way. It's like a treasure hunt. Finding universal laws that work. And a universal law means it works universally. It works on both ends. You can use it for good or bad. You can use it for selfish reasons, or you can use it to help the world. And there are books. You may have come up with some universal law. You said yourself. You say, how did I come up with universal law? You found something that if you do this way, it works like that. That's a universal law. And it works like that every time. That's what makes it a law. Because a law is something that cannot be broken, especially in the universe. It has been set in motion by God to work. And it was meant for good. But unfortunately, some people have gotten it and used it for their own selfish and their own greedy reasons and agendas. But you can take these same universal laws and these same principles and use them for good. Use them to help your family. Use them to help yourself. Use them to help your community. Use them to do God's will in your life. This is how you control the simulation within the simulation. This is how you just put these laws and these principles, puts the joystick in your hand, and you can control the game from within the game. That's the joystick, learning the laws and the principles of the universe. Once you get these laws and principles of the universe, learn them and implement them and use them for good. It's not magic. What you perceive as magic many times is people taking universal laws and principles and using them in such a way that it looks like a miracle. But they're just taking a universal law and a principle and implemented it and enacted it. For example, I'm gonna just throw something out there. The law of sowing and reaping. That is a law. You sow, you reap. But if you sow, you reap. The law of duality. The law of synchronicity. Duality. Up, down, left, right, high, low. That's duality. Every time something, for every positive, there comes a negative, and there comes a positive. It all lines up. And once you know these principles, you can actually add them, mix them in with the universal laws, and learn how to control the matrix from within. This is how people have been doing it for years. You just didn't know about it. They've been doing it. You just didn't know about it because they've been keeping you blind with television and sports and all kinds of crazy music. They've been keeping you blind with fear and religion. Blind them. Keep the blindness. Keep a veil over them. Keep that veil over their eyes so they can't see what's really going on around here. Meanwhile, we over here implementing and acting principles and laws in our favor. And we're using you as a battery. We're using you as a tool to do it. Now, I know this may sound like crazy talk to some people. And if this is crazy talk to you and this is something you just can't get with or whatever, I understand. Probably about, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, I probably wouldn't be able to get with this either. But as I awakened and I began to step back and I began to pray and I began to talk to the Father in heaven and I began to look at Jesus more in depthly and what he was trying to do. As I began to awaken, things became clear. The veil slowly began to lift off my eyes. The scales slowly began to fall off my eyes. All this stuff, Mandela effect, and all these dualities and synchronicities you are seeing, you're noticing. The double and triple numbers you're seeing all the time. That stuff is real. And you're going to either awaken to it or you're going to stay in a sleep stupor. You know what a stupor is? It's another word for stupid. You're not stupid, but if you refuse to wake up, you will be stupid. You're stupid if you don't wake up. You gotta want to wake up. Nobody's gonna wake you up. Many years ago, I'm gonna tell you this, then I'm gonna call it a night. Many years ago, I was in a dorm. It was a certain point in my life. I was in a dorm with a bunch of men in there and everything. And this was a weekend, and we was out. They was out. No, I wasn't partying, but I was one of those people. I was kind of a loner. I always kind of kept to myself. But some guys off in the distance in the dorm were, it was a Saturday night or a Friday night, something like that. He was out there. I can't remember. I think they was drinking or something. We was grown men, and I was in a place where we was in a dorm, kind of, it wasn't a college, but it was kind of like a job corps type dorm situation. But anyway, we was there, and there was a group of guys out there. So one guy came in my dorm room, where it was about, I don't know, 19, 20, 25 bunk beds in there, and he went in there to lay down, I guess because he had been drinking, and he went to sleep it off or whatever. So in a few minutes, I'm going somewhere with this, just bear with me. In a few minutes, one of his friends came in there to wake him up. And he couldn't wake him up. He shook him. He said, "Wake up. Get up. Wake up." And every time he would shake his body would just, be flimsy. And so he ran out the door and got his other buddies. And they ran in there. And they said, "Wake up, wake up." And he would not wake up for nothing. And so at that point, they pulled him out of the bunk bed and sat him up in a chair. They were slapping his face, moving his head around, and he would just not wake up. And then a sense of panic, people watching, people gathering around, watching, and they was contemplating, when they should have did from the beginning, is contemplating dialing 911. And I can't remember, this happened so long ago, they actually dialed 911. And they sitting there for the longest time, and we thought something was really wrong with this guy. We thought he might have been gone. But he would not wake up. And here many years later, I think back on that night, and God, the universe, my higher self, whatever you want to call it, told me to use that as an analogy for life. There are some people that are just like that man in the spirit. They drunk and they've gone to sleep and they won't wake up. And you got people that are awakened that are trying to wake them up. They're shaking them, they're shaking their head, they just will not wake up. They just won't wake up. They're too drunk. And what drunk people do, they fall asleep and they go into a real deep, hard sleep. And it's hard to wake up a drunk person that just don't feel all the way to sleep. It's hard to wake up. They're what they call passed out. And so some people are drunk in this reality. They done passed out. And the ones that are awakened can't wake them up. So I'm here to tell you, I'm like blowing a trumpet saying, wake up. Do your own research. Think for yourself. Follow your own path. Quit following everybody else, but everybody tell you that they don't really know themselves. People telling you stuff and they teaching this stuff is fact, but they don't even know themselves. They don't even know themselves what the facts are. That's why I'm telling you, do your own research. I'm not telling you what these people are telling you are lies. I'm not telling you what these people are telling you are the truth. What I'm saying is think for yourself and do your own research. Even when it comes to listening to me. Everything I say, don't just take it at face value. Think for yourself. I don't teach anything as fact. I teach everything I teach is experience and my own personal outlook on these things. And I meditate. And I think real hard. I try to wake up. And so I come on here to help people and to speak my side of it. And I am not the same person I was a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago. I can remember how asleep I was and didn't even know it. And the matrix or the ones that are trying to keep me asleep have tried very hard. They've tried to frustrate me. They've tried to keep me distracted. They try to do everything because they know once you wake up, you become so powerful that they can't really beat you. That's why they're trying to keep you asleep. That's why they hypnotizing you with television shows and sports and hip hop music and all this other type music. I'm talking about music that don't have no substance. Doing things and seeing things and going places that have no substance. And the synchronicities that are trying to frustrate you and drive you crazy before you can wake up. They're trying to drive you crazy before you wake up. If I could just drive you crazy before you wake up. So learn the 7 hermetic principles. Learn the universal laws. There are hundreds of them. And it's up to you to really to get out there and you do the footwork. I'm not going to do the footwork for you. Learn the 7 hermetic principles. You can go on the internet right now. You can go on your little smartphone on the internet and find out about the 7 hermetic principles. And then you just can't find out about it. You got to really study them. Learn about universal laws. They're all over the place. I mean, that's funny. This stuff is right in your face. The thing is, ain't nobody really looking. There's only a few people really looking for the truth. Everybody else is drunk and asleep. There's only a few people are waking up and saying, "Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. I need to start trying to figure some of this out." Are you one of those people? Or are you one of those people that just gonna click this off and go on about your business and it ain't gonna be that serious to you? Which one are you? I know which one I'm trying to be. And you know, life may go on for you, and you may go on in your blissful unawareness, and you may be just okay with that. I heard somebody say, "Yeah, I go to church, I do this and I do that, and I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to find out anything else. I'm not trying to think for myself. I'm not knocking going to church. You know that. I wouldn't do that. That's why I'm telling you to think for yourself." So, listen. Just try to look up the 7. I always tell you just to try it. I mean, don't get mad at me and knock me before you even try a lot of this stuff. Just try some of this stuff. If it ain't for you, it ain't for you. I'm not looking for a pat on the back. I'm looking for a way to help people, to help myself, so we can get out of this and find our true selves. I got a long way to go. But as I go, I'm going to teach those around me And I'm going to show those around me what I've learned. And as you rise, you show me what you've learned. And we compare notes. And we both rise, we all rise together. The ones that really want to go. The ones that don't want to go, let them stay. Let them stay asleep. The ones that don't want to wake up, let them stay asleep. Just like that man in that dorm room, he can't be woke. Some of you probably wonder, well, what happened to the guy in the dorm room? I think he eventually woke up, meaning there is a chance for everybody. Some people, it's hard for them to wake up, but they'll eventually wake up. Some people never wake up. Some people wake up quickly. Be one of those people that wake up quick so you can learn more, so you have more time and you can be taught more. You got to have a teachable spirit as well as a teacher's spirit. You are a teacher and you are a student at the same time. You can be a student and a teacher at the same time. I consider myself a student most of the time. The only time I'm a teacher is when I get on here and speak. But most of the time I'm a student. I'm a student probably about 3/4 of the time. So I want to leave that with you today. Just make it your business to start looking into the 7 hermetic principles. Make it your business to start looking up, trying to find all the different universal laws and use your discernment to implement them into your life and see how more and how much it enriches your life. Okay? Thank y'all for coming to this channel today. I hope y'all was helped today. I hope that you got some insight today. We'll see you on the next go round. God bless.